that across the US. So just a typical example of how a strategic stress line can be converted into a business. So the point I'm trying to drive is we are the biggest question always in my mind was how do I innovate? As an executive, I'm supposed to innovate, but you don't need to really look outside to innovate. If you see that these 6 strategy lines, where is it that my business is hurting? Is it hurting in strategy? Is it hurting in cash? Is it hurting in process? And then on that you apply all your intelligence and see how you can bring up innovation. So cash stress lines, there are many cash stress lines. Like a lot of companies, think that sales is better than finance. Yeah. So a lot of business owners, so a lot of successful businesses keep finance in front and sales behind. But a lot of unsuccessful businesses keep sales in front and finance behind. You would have costing errors. There will be expansion needs money. People don't understand that. Entrepreneurs' lack of knowledge of finance is one of the big stress lines that happen. The companies don't have review systems, working capital mixed systems. So some companies have cash flow stress lines. Some industries have cash flow stress lines. Means cash is a problem in some. If you see now real estate industry today, it's a big issue. All the real estate people, they don't have the cash flow. If you want to sell into the real estate industry, think that you'll get your money back in 120 days or maybe never at all. So so that's a problem. So if you're a company selling into the real estate industry, you have a problem. But that's the chance to innovate. And there are companies which have innovated. So I don't know if you've heard of the Rolls-Royce story. It's an old story, But what they said is that power by the hour. That is the story which Rolls-Royce said. So Rolls-Royce makes these engines, right? If you see the aircraft engines. And those are very expensive. So instead of selling the capital, they start saying that power by the hour. So you tell me how many hours, I will charge you by the hour. So they changed the complete industry. So aviation industry, we all know that it's a big, capital intensive industry, and there is a lot of cash flow issues in the industry. So Rolls-Royce at one point discovered that supplying these engines as a product and charging some $1 billion is not going to take them anywhere. So they completely changed the way they looked at things, and they started. Their innovation was, because of this, my sales cycles are up and down, my cash flow cycles are up and down, the entire market is in trouble. So what did they do? They just went out and changed their business model. So they innovated on the cash flow area. Now, execution stress lines. So a lot of companies have, I think India, we are very good at not executing properly. We're very good at not executing properly. Right? I mean, execution is a big issue in most of companies in India. So we have great micromanagers. Means we are either very high-level managers where we tell people, okay, do it, and then forget about it, or we are very good at micromanaging. That is, go with that lens and then go behind the guys and try to chase people to do. We are good at the owner usually is Mr. Google. So any problem, go to the owner. Right? You'll have execution stress lines where roles are unclear. So it's normally when you say, okay, take a paper and then write who sits on every chair, and then one man, one chair. A lot of companies will have issues. You'll have multiple people on seats. For a lot of companies, KRAs, key result areas, is always a joke. Basically, it is all, end of the year, this guy will leave unless you give him this much money. So you finally come to stuff like that. A lot of companies have appraisals at gunpoint. It's just to preserve my people are giving the appraisals. Beginning of the year, I hope HR folks are not here. Beginning of the year, HR folks will come with a long, nice appraisal form, and then all of this is filled out. The guy who's appraising and the guy who's getting appraised, both of them know that this is going to go under the table. and then end of the year, the guy takes it, removes dust from it, writes all stuff, fancy notes, and then has the appraisal. The amount is decided early. So the appraisee also knows that the amount is decided early. but it's written there, and then we follow the process, and then it happens. So how will execution happen? It's impossible for execution to happen because both parties know. So if you say the KRA system is one of the most powerful systems to deliver a project or an execution. If the whole thing is a farce, what is the control that we have today? We have no control. So execution becomes a mess. So you will see that in a lot of industries, execution is a mess. So for somebody who wants to either innovate inside your organization, and if you find that execution is a big stress line, innovate on that, and then make it better. Or when you look around, you will see that can you take your execution skills and build a business out of that, which is what other rooms did it. Right? They saw that there are thousands of hotels which are run very shoddily. So what did he do? He went and said, okay, give me these 50-room hotels, I will drive traffic, I will do the basic management, I'll make sure that the towels are good, the basic soap is good. It's not that 3 people have slept on the bed before you have come back in. So the basic quality I'll manage, and then I will split the revenue with you. So which means he had a great execution system. It's not all that great, but I think they've tried well. They put the execution system there, and so they looked at the hotel industry. They found that there is a big execution issue in the smaller hotels, the lower cost hotels, and then he built a whole business around that. So process stress lines. So the process stress lines. So process is always a problem in India. Our definition of process is completely different from what is there in the West. So Japan is the king of process. Toyota is the king of process. They have innovated on process. So in India we have issues like there's process built by companies. So what do you do if somebody would tell a company, I'm talking of mid-sized companies, we need to build a process. What would you do? You would call a consultant, right? And then who's the consultant? A guy who's lost his job as a consultant. Yeah. you call this guy. He comes from somewhere. You wear a jacket like me out here, and then he would come and give you gas, and you paid him money, and then interview. You call this guy. He's a dummy, but you really can't throw him out because you're paid money to him. You keep him there, and then he gives you gas, and then he would write a process like that. What is written there, right? And what happens? So you're going like this. You're going in a path. You're going like this, like this, like this. Why? Because that idiot has written the process in that manner. Yeah. So whereas if you see in Japan or in the West, the people with the highest brain, the business owner writes the process, or the person closest to the business owner writes the process. The others execute. So it's like your Indian railways, right? You put the rail properly, you can run a train on it. There is no problem. Whereas if you put the rail like this, the train will run like this. So, so a lot of times people put the process done by the lowest guy or the guy who has lost his job. Yeah. So you have issues, in process, and in a lot of companies, process gets violated. So you have the process, but if you want to break the process, go to the owner or the entrepreneur. He will say, okay, it's fine, it's okay, no problem. So it's like our then why the process? So we would have complex process. I've seen the other day I went to a hospital, for something. I was looking at the way the process was built. I first went and wrote all my things in the at the counter. And then it took me about 10-15 minutes to fill up that whole, the form. And the form had, my father's name, father's age, I mean, from every single data was there. God alone knows why you kept. When I went to the next department, he gave me another form that had a whole load of things. So these are all done by people who have no understanding of what the process is. Won't it just increase the stress within the organization? You'll have brainless documentation. So people would just document. So why do you need that much of documentation? So if you see Toyota, it's a master of process. And this is actually a very good example of the Japanese process. So if you see very clearly in this is the Japanese parliament. They are arranging the teacups in the Japanese parliament. So if you see that the top of the teacup has to be in one line, so that lady is standing with 5 people are standing and then putting the teacup there. So that's the height of process. To me, this is a definition. So we can imagine what will be happening in similar places in our country. Right? So people don't understand. But I was very pleasantly surprised that here the arrangement of the pencils were parallel to each other. Quite commendable. You will not see that normally. So you will see in process, you will see a lot of problems within companies. So if that is the case, that is the place for you to innovate. And so one of the people, so this is probably one of the things which I think some of the veterans in India have used. So if you see McDonald's, they innovated on, when they started the business, they knew that people are going to be their biggest issue. Right? So cost is going to be their biggest issue, and their biggest cost is going to be people. US is expensive. So what did they do? They used students and home working mothers. So the calls would go to the home working mother. She would pick up the call and then take the order, and then the order would get routed to the store, and then at the store the store manager would be a store manager, and the guy who makes the burger would be a guy who's a student from India, working in Harvard or wherever, studying in Harvard or wherever. He makes the best of burger, packs it, and then gives it off. So they innovated around the people issue. Or if you see now the Uber and Ola, they innovated around that. Whereas we had this Meru, which was there, which bought their own cars and their own drivers. It's very hard to manage. I remember in our company, we used to give cars to our people, and the cars would get very badly used. So we changed the policy and said, we give you the money, you buy your cars. The cars came out very good. So similar case, right? If you see Uber and Ola, they are running the cars badly. Because if he banks it somewhere, he knows that it's going to hit his stomach. It's not Meru's stomach. It's not Uber's stomach. So they innovated on the people on that issue. So Meru went out and bought a lot of cars and then put drivers and then started, running fleets of cars. These guys, what they did was they told the driver, you buy the car, we'll give you the business, and then we'll run it for you. So they kind of innovated. Data stress lines. So this is a very interesting graph which I found that in a lot of companies, 100% of the problem is known to the staff. Staff knows the issue. 74% they say is known to the team leaders. 9% is known to the team managers, and then 4% is known to the management. It gets filtered at every level. So really the owner or the top manager who's sitting there, he's driving, he's thinking he's going to Alaska, but maybe he's going to Siberia, He has no clue. So drives a lot of stress within the organization. So what happens is, if you find that in your organization that is a problem, maybe that's the place where you need to innovate. I was seeing a video of Saudi Arabia, and we normally think that Arabs are generally easygoing, right? In Saudi Arabia, they have in one of their oil wells, they have a huge, a wall in which it's like a command center. Every single drop of oil which goes from under the thing, and it gets into the ship and then it goes to the customer. That whole path is displayed on a lifetime basis. It's like probably the length of the whole. So that's the power of data. And who has exploited it? Uber, right? Uber has information, and they use that information, geospatial information, traffic information. They use that information and place cabs outside where it is required. You don't have to look for Uber. If you press a button, he's there right here. It's not that he knows where the customer is. Uber knows because he has got the traffic information. He knows where is the crowd of people. He has the cell phone information, and he gets there. So finally, definition of insanity. People say this, this man who said it. I don't know who said it, but I think it is very real. That's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. So that brings me to the end of my short presentation.
Thank you, Anil, for this very breezy presentation. Friends, what did Anil tell us in the beginning? I'm sure he mentioned there's no time even to fix problems. क्या innovate करोगे अब? क्या innovate करेंगे आप? And that was the kind of statement he started with. I think all of us have to be clear, and I'm sure all of us are clear. There is no innovation for sake of innovation. Innovation should be or is and usually the result of an urge, an inner urge to improve efficiencies all round. Sorry. And when you have an urge to improve efficiency, whether it's a product efficiency or process efficiency, innovation will follow. And therefore, it is extremely important for those in business to have that urge to constantly look at familiar things from unfamiliar angles and try and improve product and process efficiency, that innovation will follow. Thank you very much again. Very pleasing presentation. Burjis, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here at CLAFMA today. I've heard so much about CLAFMA over the years. I'm so happy to be given this opportunity to present to you. I'm going to talk about Gen Next entrepreneurship in India's animal protein sector. At Godrej Agrovet, we do believe that the livestock sector's future is very bright, and that's why we invest so much in it. So just to illustrate this, I'd like to emphasize that the livestock growth rate is outstripping the agri-GDP growth rate. If you look at the salience of livestock in the share of agri-GDP, it's increased a lot. It was 27% in FY13. In FY17, it went to 32%. So that's a very significant increase. And if you look at the rate of crop agriculture GDP growth, that was 1%, whereas animal agriculture GDP grew at 6.6%, so much higher growth rate. And just to illustrate some examples of how the livestock sector in India has done very well, I'll take the example of shrimp exports. The CAGR of shrimp exports from India between financial year 12 and 18 was 22%, and it's expected to be 17 to 18% between 17 and 20. So it's a very successful industry. Another example is buffalo meat exports. That has increased a lot since FY10. Now it's plateauing and stabilizing, but the growth before was really phenomenal. So we expect that livestock demand will keep on increasing because of three main factors. One is the absolute population addition. As India's population rises, people will have more livestock products. Then there's the rising per capita income, and then there's increasing animal protein consumption due to preference for greater protein in diets. Now we expect that the livestock products will get more formalized and branded. And we have examples of other products to show why this will be the case. Households have switched from homemade to more convenient packaged options like curd. A kilogram of homemade curd would cost about 50 to 60 rupees, whereas packaged curd costs much more, about double to triple, 100 to 200 rupees. But yet people are switching from homemade curd to packaged curd, and the packaged organized curd market in India is 121 billion rupees now. We see the same thing with homemade atta to packaged atta. 1 kg of homemade atta would cost 35 rupees, packaged atta 45 rupees, still people are making that switch. And the packaged organized atta market in India is 140 billion rupees. And even something like dosa batter, people are switching from homemade to packaged dosa batter, even though the price is a lot more, 2.5 times the cost. And a new player in this market, ID Fresh, they have a revenue of 2 billion rupees in 4 years. And it's not just the very rich who are making this transition, even middle class households are doing it. So we expect the same will happen in livestock, milk and meat products. So at Agrovet, we acquired a majority stake in Creamline Dairy that sells milk and value-added dairy products under the Jersey brand in 2015. And we did this because we believe that the outlook for dairy in India is very bright. The milk production volume has been increasing, the dairy market value has been increasing with strong growth in the organized market. The bulk of this comes from productivity gains, but a lot of it is also coming from cattle population growth. And what are some of the mega trends that are driving this processed food demand? There's increasing per capita income. There's more preference for processed food. Most people in the nuclear family don't really have the time to spend on cooking, so that's why they're switching to processed food products. And there's also the urbanization trend that favors that, and growing women participation in the workforce. So as women have less time to cook than they did before, they will turn to these processed products. So what makes dairy attractive in India? Nearly 70% of the Indian population depends on dairy, directly or indirectly. India is the largest producer of milk in the world. It's the second largest producer of cow milk, but if you add buffalo, it does become the largest producer. More than 15% of the world's dairy comes from India. And India has 15% of the livestock of the world, with half of the buffaloes and 20% of the cows. The growth rate of consumer demand, it'll be between 10 to 30%, and the growth rate of milk production will be 7%. So what are some of the factors driving dairy growth? There's a lot of conversion from loose milk to packaged and value-added milk products because of rising income. Consumers are getting more health conscious. So before we saw that people were having a lot of soft drinks, but now they are switching over to dairy drinks because those are much healthier. There are also adulteration concerns. So that will favor branded high quality products. And then ease of use.